Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. Today, I read an article on Fool.com written by Maury Backman titled, "My Friend is House Poor and Regrets It. Here's what she wants everyone to know." I'll include a link to the article in the description below. I encourage you to read the full article to support the author and news source. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of this article that are of public interest. According to the article, in a section titled, "When You Wind Up House Poor and Miserable," Jane's logic in stretching her budget to buy her home was simple. The way she saw it, it's important to be happy with your home because you live there every day. Having a really nice kitchen instead of one that's just okay, for example, can improve your quality of life because you're using it all the time. I couldn't agree more. No one wants to live in a dump. No one wants to have to worry about rodents, cockroaches, bed bugs, termites, etc. I agree with what this individual is saying with regard to a kitchen. Individuals want enough space to have nice appliances. Individuals want to have enough counter real estate to be able to prepare a nice meal. People want to have a kitchen large enough to be able to prepare food, to be able to entertain guests or family members. But if you are house poor, you're not going to be able to afford food to be able to prepare in that kitchen. You're going to be living on ramen noodles, rice, and beans every day. This article goes on to indicate, but the problem is this: Jane doesn't really get to enjoy her life in general because money is so tight and she's constantly worried about it. She spends so much on mortgage payments, property taxes, and maintenance that she and her husband have little money left over to travel, socialize, and do the things that they enjoy. The article also indicates that they are spending so much on their house expenses that they have to do their own property maintenance because they can't afford to outsource that. It is not a fun situation when your house owns you. It's not fun to have to spend your weekends maintaining your home. Some homes require a lot of maintenance. I feel bad for people who got caught up in the fear of missing out in the past few years. Many of these individuals waived inspections, overpaid for real estate. Some of these individuals right now are dealing with a lot of expensive maintenance problems that could have been prevented if they had a home inspection. I am sure there are a lot of everyday Americans who are spending their Saturdays and Sundays making repairs to their home. Some of these individuals right now may even be racking up credit card debt in order to pay for these costly repairs. For individuals who plan on purchasing a home, please proceed with caution. When you work with a real estate agent and when you work with a mortgage professional, these individuals typically work on a commission structure of some type. The more expensive home that you purchase, the more money that your real estate agent or your mortgage professional is likely to make on that transaction. I have worked with real estate clients in the past, and I have sat in on the meetings that they have had with their mortgage professionals. These mortgage professionals are so slick. They like to talk about how every $10,000 extra that you finance only translates to this very small amount of money in your monthly payment stretched out over 30 years. And that is true, but some individuals don't realize how much money they're throwing away at the bank in interest. Many of these individuals get too caught up in thinking about how nice it would be to live in a more expensive home. And then after they close on the property, reality sets in and they have a very difficult time making that larger mortgage payment. They probably should have lived within their means or beneath their means, as opposed to letting the mortgage professional convince them to take on a larger loan. Just because you can get approved for a larger mortgage doesn't necessarily mean that you should. Unfortunately, many individuals who have been renters and have never owned a home don't realize that a home is a machine for living. And just like any machine, it requires maintenance. Maintenance on a large home can be very expensive. Maintaining a home has continued to get more expensive because of inflation. Contractors have had to raise their prices. Even individuals who plan on doing their own home maintenance are likely going to be in for sticker shock when they go to home improvement stores and find out how expensive some materials are. Some individuals may need to go out and rent tools or equipment in order to complete small home maintenance projects. Tool rental is also getting more expensive. When trying to determine what type of home you should potentially buy based on your budget, there's something really important that needs to be considered with regard to maintenance costs. A lot of financial experts recommend setting aside 1% of the home's value each year for maintenance. If you purchase a $500,000 home, 1% would be $5,000. You would want to set aside $5,000 each year in a separate account for the purpose of home maintenance. Some years, you may not run into a lot of home maintenance problems, and you might only spend $1,000 of that $5,000. You can carry that money over until the next year. Eventually, you will have expensive maintenance items. At some point, appliances will break and you will have to replace them. At some point, a furnace or an air conditioner will break and you will have to replace those items. They continue to get more and more expensive. Larger homes have multiple AC systems and multiple furnaces in some instances. At some point, a roof on a home is going to need to be replaced. You would be shocked to find out how expensive it costs to replace a roof in 2023. Gutters, downspouts, windows, doors, all of these items cost a lot of money. It is important to always set aside money each year so that you have reserves to cover maintenance on the property. Some individuals do not factor this into their budget. Some individuals do not realize how expensive maintaining a home really is. If you own a single-family home with a piece of property, you may have to consider fertilizing that lawn. Some HOAs can fine homeowners if they have dandelions or crabgrass. You may also have to consider how much it's going to cost to have your sprinkler system serviced. You also need to give consideration to how much it's going to cost to replace mulch every year, how much it's going to cost to be able to replace landscaping features such as bushes that may die. If you have a paved driveway, you may have to factor in how much it's going to cost to reseal that asphalt on a regular basis. Some homes have low maintenance exteriors. Even with low maintenance exteriors, such as brick homes, they may still require some maintenance, such as tuck pointing. And that is expensive if you have a mason come out and perform that type of service. Some individuals may have a home with wood siding. You may need to give consideration to how much it is going to cost to caulk and repaint that property at some point. Many individuals these days have some type of fiberboard siding that still needs to be painted as well. It is getting more and more expensive to hire a professional painter. Some individuals may not want to get up on a ladder and have to worry about painting on a second story of a home. Families with children may want to give consideration to how frequently they may have to replace their flooring, such as carpeting. It's very possible they might spill their Kool-Aid and put a stain on the carpet. It's possible they may knock over a candle and get wax on the carpet. Who knows? If you have pets, it's very possible those pets could cause damage to carpet, trim, doors, etc. Many homeowners end up in a situation where they are house poor, not only because they overextended themselves with the payment, but they also did not give full consideration to how much money it is going to cost to maintain that home moving forward in the future. Some people also get caught off guard by increases in property taxes. It's very possible your local county could increase your property tax assessment. This could impact your monthly mortgage payment. It's also possible that your insurance company could raise your annual insurance premium. This also could impact your monthly mortgage payment. More and more people are living in subdivisions these days, and many subdivisions have HOAs. It's possible that HOAs could increase monthly fees. In addition to increasing monthly fees, HOAs could possibly levy special assessments. Many individuals are caught off guard when they have higher HOA fees, or if they get a special assessment because the HOA needs to raise money to be able to afford to make repairs to certain things in the neighborhood. It's possible the HOA may need to make repairs to the pool or the clubhouse, or repave a parking lot, or make repairs to the entrance to the neighborhood. HOAs often have to hire third-party contractors to come in and make these repairs. This continues to get more and more expensive. Many HOAs are not well managed. Many HOAs don't have adequate cash reserves. Unfortunately, many HOAs need to raise money by doing special assessments or by raising monthly HOA fees. Individuals really need to give all of this consideration before purchasing a home. Otherwise, the American dream really could turn into the American nightmare. In my opinion, people should consider living beneath their means. Just because you can afford a really large, fancy home, you may want to consider living beneath your means in a nice neighborhood, in a more modest home. This way, you can have extra cash to set aside each month for retirement, for an emergency fund, college savings for your children, and to be able to do fun things in life. Many people want to be able to go on vacation without having to put that on a credit card and to have to carry that credit card debt from month to month. There's something to be said for living beneath your means and having enough money to be able to do the things in life that you enjoy. I hate to see people fall into a situation where they become house poor. I also hate to see couples who go out and purchase a very expensive home that they can only afford on 2 incomes. At some point in the future, it's very possible one of those individuals could get laid off or could become disabled. What does a couple do in this type of situation? In the short term, they may be able to deal with this if they had an emergency fund. In the long run, they may be put in a situation where they have to sell and try to move as quickly as possible because they can no longer afford to make their mortgage payments. This is the grim reality for many couples who purchase a home which requires both of them to be working in order to afford that payment. What do you think about all this? Do you know people right now who are house poor? If so, how did they become house poor? Let me know about it in the comment section below. Please keep in mind, nothing in this video is financial advice or real estate advice. If you need advice of any kind, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I want to extend a special thanks to all of my channel members. Thank you so much for your support. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.